Hi everyone, I'm Lois Johnston and this is Singing Tips. I've been a professional singer and teacher for many years, all my life, and today we're going to learn together how to sing How Beautiful Are the Feet from Handel's Messiah. Watch this video if you want to learn how to sing it for the first time, if you've never sung it before, or if you want to learn how to sing it better. It's a great solo for church, especially at this time of year as it comes from Messiah, and Messiah is often performed at this time of year at Christmas. So, Handel's Messiah, the text is based on the King James Bible and the Coverdale Psalter. So it's a combination of those two things. And it tells the story of the life of Christ. And it comes in different sections. So there's the first part, which covers Isaiah's prophecy all the way to through Christ's redemption. And then the second part is the Passion of Christ, the crucifixion. And at the end of one of the sections of that middle bit, it's the beginnings of gospel preaching. That's how the story unfolds. So this song, How Beautiful Are the Feet, comes into the beginnings of the gospel preaching section, and then it moves on to the ultimate victory of Christianity and the life of Christ. So that's just an overview of the whole story of Messiah. I'm going to use the Watkin Shaw edition just because it's generally considered the best Messiah edition to use. There are many editions of it, but the Watkin Shaw one, Novello, is the best one. It is in G minor, but today I'm going to start off in E minor just because it's a much easier key. And you can get PDFs online which are transposable, so you can find this particular solo in any key that you want, really. So I've just chosen to work in a lower key just to make it more suitable and more available for more voice types. So first of all, as always, I'm going to go through pronunciation and where to breathe. Now you've got some options here. It can be quite slow and you might need to take what I call a plan B breath. So I'll give you two options. You can go all the way through How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace, breath where the rest is. But if you're not at if you're at the mercy of an accompanist or an orchestra or a musical director who wants it to be slower than is comfortable to manage all that in one breath, you can take a breath after the first them. So you can do How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. How beautiful are the feet, breath because there's a rest. How beautiful are the feet of them, emergency breath if you need it, that preach the gospel of peace, breath on the rests. And then that pattern actually repeats. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. New bit of text, and bring glad tidings, and bring glad tidings, breath. So you breathe on the rest in between those sections. And bring glad tidings, breath, and bring glad tidings, breath, glad tidings of good things, breath, and bring glad tidings, breath, glad tidings of good things, breath, and bring glad tidings of good things, breath, glad tidings of good things. So for the most part, the breathing is actually really quite easy and intuitive. It's just really that first phrase and working out whether it's going to go at a speed that you need an extra breath in the middle. So here we go. We're going to have a sing through now and just practice where we're going to put the breaths. Now, I'm going to choose a speed. It's in 12/8, which essentially is like 4/4, but each beat is grouped into little groups of 3 quavers. So, how beautiful are the feet of them. Emergency breath there if you need it. So here we go. That's our speed. 1, 2, breathe. 4. How beautiful are the feet of them, breath, that preach the gospel of peace, breath. How beautiful are the feet, breath. How beautiful are the feet of them, breath, that preach the gospel of peace. And then there's a little interlude, and then how beautiful are the feet of them, breath, that preach the gospel of peace, breath, and bring glad tidings, breath, and bring glad tidings, breath, glad tidings of good things, breath, and bring glad tidings, breath, glad tidings of good things, and bring glad tidings, breath, glad tidings of good things, glad tidings of good things. So that was our sing through, just organising the speed that we're going to go at, the key which we decided was going to be E minor, and where to breathe. Now, I would advise for safety to take those emergency plan B breaths in the middle of those longer phrases. I think I would do that, especially if the musical director wanted it to perhaps be a bit slower. So now what we're going to do is work on some real technical things. So first thing is, as always, breathe really, really, really early. So in the bar that you actually come in, so you hear that little bit of melody, and really you need to be breathing right at the beginning of that. And then you're ready to sing. How beautiful are, and pitch the H of the how right on the note that you start on. So how beautiful are the feet of them that preach. Now them, you can cut that down in length, make it from a crotchet, change it to a quaver, and then you can buy yourself a whole quaver to take that extra breath. That's what I would do. How beautiful are the feet of them, breath, that preach the gospel of peace. And I think gospel is probably the most important word there. So go for gospel, put a little accent on the go of gospel. And when you get to peace, lean on the first one, peace. Come away from the second one, and a small s sound so that it doesn't, you don't get that sibilant spitting sound lasting for too long, bleeding into that rest afterwards. So here we go again. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. How beautiful are the feet. Now, I got a seventh. It's always an awkward interval. How beautiful. So pitch the H of the how on the lower note, and then make sure that you pitch the B of beau. It's actually a y sound. How beautiful, right on the upper note. How beautiful are the feet. And we just have to be careful that the never becomes an important word. It's easy sometimes. How beautiful are the feet. You don't want to do that because the is not going to be an important word here. It's beautiful and feet that are the important words. How beautiful then the t comes after that little group of 3. Feet, right there. How beautiful are the feet, breath. How beautiful are the feet of them. Again, cut them down by a quaver. Them that preach the gospel of peace. And again, of gospel is an important word. So let's just do that wee section from that 7th. How beautiful are the feet. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. And again, peace, right on the dotted crotchet rest. Now then, next phrase, same text, but you're coming in from a much higher note. So again, breathing really nice and early. Pitch the H on the upper note and think more of putting that O sound of how into the R space. It's actually a diphthong and it does consist of ah and oo. How. So we're going to focus on the R space. How beautiful are the feet of them. And then again, to get away from the being an important word, we're going to focus more on feet. How beautiful are the feet of them, breath, that preach the gospel of peace. Now then, preach the We want gospel to be an important word, but we don't want it suddenly to get louder. Preach the gospel of peace. So this time we're going to go towards peace as our really important word. The gospel of peace. The go is going to sound important just because you're going up in pitch. So to not overemphasize that, we don't want to also put an accent on it, otherwise it will become the gospel, and that's just going to be really ugly. So the gospel of peace. Make peace the important one. So let's just do that phrase. How beautiful are the feet of them, breath, that preach the gospel of peace. Now we've got new text, and bring glad tidings. Now this is always awkward. And bring glad. You can elide them and bring glad, but for the first one, I always choose to make a meal out of the 2 G's, just because it's the first time we've had this bit of text. If somebody doesn't know the text, it's really important for them to be able to understand it, at least for the first time. And bring glad tidings. So I always make a distinction between those 2 G's, the one at the end of G and the one at the beginning of glad. And bring glad tidings. And our important word there is probably glad. And bring glad tidings. Breath, repeat the pattern. And bring glad tidings. And I do a nice crescendo there because it's the second time that we've heard that bit of text. And bring glad tidings of good things. good is our important word there. It's a small note, it's only a quaver, but I think it gives it really nice shape if we emphasize good at that point. Let's just cover that again. And bring glad tidings, and bring glad tidings of good things. Excuse me, I've got a frog that just appeared in the middle of there. Just getting towards the end now. So we repeat the same text. And bring glad tidings. I'm just trying to sing through the frog rather than clearing my throat. And bring glad tidings. So breathing nice and early. You've got a whole beat and a half to take the breath before this entry. And bring glad tidings, breath, glad tidings of good things. And again, make a meal of good. It's an important word. Glad tidings of good things. Now, and bring glad tidings. We've got a long note here. It's a long tied note over the bar line. Dotted crotchet, tied to another dotted crotchet, tied to another crotchet. And bring glad tidings. So in Baroque music, it's always really, really nice to swell on a long note. Warm the note up a bit. Make it travel somewhere rather than just sitting on it and just holding it. And bring glad tidings. Glad tidings of good things. So with that glad, pitching the gl on the note. Glad tidings of good things. Glad tidings. Again, the gl. Glad tidings. Now, you've got a choice here. You can grab another breath after tidings if you think you're going to need it. Glad tidings of good things. Now, if you've got a musical director that's likely to do a big rit, an extra breath might just really help you out there. Again, it's a safety mechanism. Glad tidings of good things. And going right up to the rest for the s to go on the end there. So we're going to do a whole sing through now, the whole song in E minor, just trying to think about all the things. So the bar that we come in, breathing, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. How beautiful are the feet. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. Breathing early. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. And bring glad tidings, crescendo, and bring glad tidings of good tidings of good things, and bring glad tidings, glad tidings of good things, glad tidings of good things. Now, if you're a true soprano, you're going to want to do this in the original key of G minor, which is a minor third higher than we just learned it. So all the same things apply, exactly the same, it just is in a higher key. You can hear how much brighter that is. Again, you can get these PDFs online. Look at musicnotes.com and you can find it really in any key you want to sing it. So it's suitable for any voice type. Here's the soprano version though. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. How beautiful are the feet. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace. Early breath. How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings and bring glad tidings, glad tidings of good things, and bring glad tidings, glad tidings of good things, and bring glad tidings, glad tidings of good things, glad tidings of good things. And there you have it. I think I just about managed to sing through my morning frog. I think I haven't had quite enough tea to drink this morning, and it's a little bit early here in New Zealand to be singing the soprano rep. However, I hope you found that video useful. It's a great solo for this time of year, whether it's church or wherever, just any occasion really. It's a very suitable festive solo. Please do like and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to drop your comments in as well, because I love hearing from you. I'm getting so many new people subscribing and wanting to chat about singing, and that just brings joy to my heart. So like and subscribe, drop your comments in, let me know how you go with your solos over the Christmas period, and I'll see you next time. Bye.